Hey everyone, I am Most North, aka Moosemaster21 if you're on Reddit. What I'm going to show you today is just a spreadsheet that I've been working on for the last couple days to track your weekly and seasonal progress for your Legend Experience bonus, and also to kind of budget your time accordingly based on your experience, your daily experience average goals. That means how much experience you would have to average, how much Legend experience you would have to average on a day-to-day basis in order to finish um, all of these, not only on the 10-week 25,000 experience a week rollout, but also on the 13-week season. Um, so first I'm going to show you what you need to do to use the spreadsheet, and then I'll go into a little bit more details on how the spreadsheet works and some other things that it does. You only have to stick around for the first part if you want to use it. The second part is up to you. For the first part here, you'll see that I have yellow values here. This is conditional formatting. As long as those values are 0, they'll be yellow. As soon as you input a value, that'll go away. Um, this is the template spreadsheet. I'm going to use my own spreadsheet and enter my values. What you want to first do is take your experience from week 1, because I know that we're a little bit into week 2 here, and just manually enter your week 1 experience. I know that I finished, mine are actually a little bit different than what shows up here. I finished everyone except for Caustic, who I had 13,620 experience with. Now, you'll see these numbers are auto-populating strangely, and that's because I haven't updated my total seasonal experience. So, week 1, I got 250,000 with everyone except Caustic. Week 2, obviously not quite there yet, but I have 50,000 experience with 6 legends, I think. Caustic is at 14,331. Mirage is at 46,552. Gibraltar is at 27,907. So these are just referencing these cells, so do not change these or that'll mess things up. Only change these values here. If I go back to my weekly page now, it'll show me this is the amount of experience that I got in week 1. This is the amount of experience I've gotten so far in week 2. Now, as far as upkeep goes, the only 2 things that you will have to do are update these seasonal values whenever you want, just based on how much experience you're getting. So maybe after each session, you can just open up the spreadsheet and pop in a new number. The other thing that you'll have to do is when a new week rolls out, and you get that extra $25,000 boost, or 25,000 experience boost, you want to lock in your value here if it is not 25,000. If it is 25,000, if you complete all of your legends, you don't have to do anything on the weekly page anymore. But say I were to finish this week with 2,907 experience with Gibraltar, I would put that in there. And then maybe I gain a little bit more experience with him in week 3, and now you'll see that it's populating week 3 correctly. If I do not manually enter that 2,907 value, and then I were to still gain more experience here, it would assume that that experience is still happening in week 2. So that's the only upkeep that you need to do is, again, update these values, and if you're short 20 of the 25,000 goal at any point here, manually punch that in. And all you have to do is copy exactly what's in there. So for Gibraltar, it's 2907. I would punch 2907 in. For Caustic, if I were to finish this week at 711, I'd punch 711 in. And Mirage, I do 21552 for this week. All of these ones that are done, I don't need to worry about. So that's really all that you need to know for using the spreadsheet. I guess I can also tell you that it's calculating your daily experience average, doing a formula that takes the week start date, and then checks how much experience you've gained over how many days this week has been out. And then you'll see in this category here, this is what your goal should be for the rest of the week. So you can see if I've got, let's say this week has 3 days left, it's telling me that I only need to gain an additional 20,000 experience a day, roughly, for the next 3 days in order to finish all of my legends this week. It'll also tell me these values right here will be the same. They're calculating the exact same thing. So it tells me what percent to completion for this week that I am. So I'm 74% done with this week. I finished last week at 95%. And then it also tells me on an individual basis, I was 100% with a lot of legends, and I got about 55 with one. Over here, I have 100% with 6 legends, 86 with Mirage, only 2% with Caustic because I haven't hardly touched him, and 11% with Gibraltar. If we go over to the seasonal page again, this is telling me for that 250,000 experience with 9 legends badge, I would need to average about 25,000 legend experience bonus per day in order to get that. If I wanted to just get the badge for 7 of the legends, because I know there's a badge for doing it with 7 legends, and I believe there's a badge for doing it with 9 legends, I would need just short of 20,000 experience a day, legend experience bonus per day. It'll also tell me that in my 2 weeks combined, I'm 86% of the way so far to my goal. This is my daily experience average over those 2 weeks. These here will auto update if I've done it correctly. They might be off by about 12 hours or so, but these should auto update so that next week we go up to 75,000. The week after we go up to 100,000 for each legend, and so on. It won't really make a difference if you were to update these values before this updates. But if this happens to update before the week actually rolls out, then your weekly is going to look inaccurate for maybe half a day, and then it'll fix itself. What this is showing me down here is my total experience needed and my total experience gained. I am 17.3% of the way done with all of the experience for the entire season for my legends. We are 9.1% through the entire season. So as long as this number is bigger than this number, that means that you are on pace to complete on time. What this does, this one here, it just tells me how much experience that I would need on a day-to-day basis throughout all 91 days of the season. This is telling me, based on what I've done so far, I now need only 23,265 legend experience bonus for the rest of the season. So if you continue to average over this value will continue to decrease. This calculation adjusts itself based on how much you've done. To give you a better indicator of how much you will need to do for the rest of the season. And then, as you can see here, these percentages are just calculating your total percent for each legend. So this is, I'm 20% of the way there for the entire season for a lot of these guys. For Caustic, I'm only 5% of the way there. And then these are showing your percent of the way over just the weeks that are available at this point. And then you go back to the weekly tab, and we have each one of these is on a week-to-week basis, and that'll update automatically as you fill in your seasonal page here. Okay, one last reminder: you have to update these values, and you have to update these values. They'll be yellow at the start. From there, you only need to update values on the weekly page when you're short of 25,000 at the end of a week, and you can continue to update your seasonal whenever you see fit. So that's about it. If you have any questions, if it's not working as expected, please let me know in the comments. I will leave a link to this spreadsheet in the description. You will have to make a copy, make a copy, because you won't have permission to edit the spreadsheet. But then on your own copy, you would be able to manipulate whatever you want on here. I would try to avoid messing around with a lot of this stuff because some of the formulas are pretty silly. I might have done way more work than was necessary on this. I'm not by any means a programmer. I don't know if I said that or not yet, but this was just kind of a labor of love for me. Just kind of messing around, seeing what I could do to keep my stuff organized a little bit better. This also helps you if you are like in the loading screen, you can, and you don't remember if you finished up a legend or not, you can pop over here real quick and see if you've done that. Unfortunately, it's not updating in real time. You have to manually update it. So not a big workaround for that. Anyway, I think I'm just going to leave you with that. If you want to add me in game, again, my name is Most North. I play on NA servers and love to squat up with you. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the spreadsheet.